Hi guys, welcome back. We're going a little bit old school today and going back to the Lizardmen. Don't think I've done a replay with them for a little while here, but we are going to be up against the Vampire Counts led by Hubert J. Farnsworth, so the Professor himself. Let's have a little look and see how this goes. So I've gone for a little bit of a strange build, so as you can see, in the middle, I do have Big Lord Kroq. Now, he is super good against the Vampire Counts, mainly because of the fact they're quite slow, and his big damage-dealing spells, the Deliverance of Itza, can just annihilate elite infantry, you know, like Graveguard and so forth. So if you can keep him protected, he can do a great amount of damage. Now, normally, when I kind of used to use Kroq, it'd be mainly just Temple Guard surrounded him, a Red Crested Skink Chief on top of a big old Stegodon, and a Carnosaur for protection. But instead, I thought I was going to try something a little bit different today, and we have gone for possibly my favourite Lizardman character, Kroq-Gar. Now, this could actually be the first time I've used him on multiplayer. I'm trying to think back. Don't think I've used him yet. I did a campaign with him when the game first came out on my old laptop, but it was very poorly run on that laptop. It wasn't a very good laptop overall, so I didn't get the full experience. But as you can see, him on top of Grimlock here, who's very angry and roaring, he's going to be rolling around trying to protect Lord Kroq, as much as possible. We also have the Umbral Tide. It's a little bit worried I didn't have enough to protect these guys, but they can do some great damage against the undead with their flaming attacks. You know, pick off Vargheists, Vargulfs, all of that type of like large stuff that they like to bring. Now, the front line, we have had to go a little bit cheaper with some Saurus Warriors. We've got two standard ones in the front without shields. You don't need shields, of course, against undead, really. On the right-hand flank, we do have the Legion of Shakwa for that anti-large, and a unit of Saurus Spears on the left. So instead of, mass Temple Guard, we've had to go a bit cheaper. But in the back, we do have two units of Temple Guard, just to add that little bit of eliteness. And I feel like with Lord Kroq rolling around, the only thing that can really stop us here is cycle charging from the big monsters, trying to snipe them out, or Blood Knights, and these guys should do a fantastic job at taking them down. With their magic glowy halberds here, they're just such a cool looking unit. And they do of course give Guardian to all heroes and leaders next to them. You can actually take a little look here and see how much of a bonus it is. 15% physical resist, which is huge, especially if they're stacked on someone as mighty and tough as Kroq-Gar, who of course is here with all his tools today, including the Hand of the Gods, which I believe actually does fire and magic damage. They can be super useful against things like the Claw from the Gash and so forth. So let's have a little look at my opponent's list. He has got in the air a few units of Fellbats for a bit of that distraction. For his lord, he has gone for a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord up here on his undead horse. And he's gone for a bit of an air force actually overall. So he's also got two Terrorgeists. These guys can be very scary. However, I might be able to shoot them down a little bit with the Salamanders, and Temple Guard should do a decent job on them. He's gone very wide in the front line. And it looks like it's mainly zombies and skeleton spearmen, just kind of dotted in between there. Yeah, it looks like that's it for the most part. In the back here as well, he does have a Necromancer. I'm assuming he's just using it as a magic battery. Let's find out. Yep, he's just got the Forbidden Rod, going to be rolling around, getting a bit more power reserves for the other spellcasters in his army. He's also got the Claw of Nagash here, the Regiment and Mortis Engine. This thing does a crazy amount of damage, however it does have to be in combat to actually do all these debuffs. As you can see, it gives mass regeneration, Magical Harvest gives you a bit more power reserves, causes terror, also does damage to nearby enemy troops. Very nice unit overall, however it does have to be in combat, and obviously that won't want to be up facing Temple Guard, or especially Kroq-Gar. So let's see how this gets underway. So I was doing a little bit of repositioning. I do spot the Mortis Engine over on the left hand side, so I'm slowly trying to itch my army kind of left a little bit. I want to get it in range of the Umbral Tide. However, I don't think my opponent's obviously going to let that happen, or at least he'll try not to. So we are moving across a little bit left, and a few flaming shots do come in out of the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, but he manages to juke past most of them. Does take, I think, only one hit then, and did a significant amount of damage. We can pin him down at any point if my opponent's not paying attention. We should be able to do a lot of damage. I did take these guys off fire at will, just so I wasn't wasting shots on all these like juking back and forth as he was with his lord there. So yeah, just reposition. I might actually fast forward a little bit, because this does go on for a tiny little bit. And here we go, you can see the battle is getting underway. So opponent is just starting to flank around all sides. I do kind of try and push up, just want to get a little bit of this engagement. The Saurus Warriors should obviously tear Spearmen apart, and the zombies won't be much good either. But it looks like he's going to be really trying to come with the Air Force. He wants to shut down these Umbral Tide as fast as possible. So I'm going to fire a few shots in, hitting one of these Terrorgeists now, doing a decent chunk of damage. But it does look like these Fellbats have popped down, but it looks like they've actually accidentally popped onto the Saurus Spearmen. Although they are chasing down the Umbral Tide, these Temple Guard will just munch them in seconds. Now, Kroq-Gar's not getting involved yet. He's just sitting back, chilling out with Lord Kroq, making sure that he's the best bodyguard he can be, just in case the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord was thinking of doing anything a little bit sneaky. Umbral Tide are back firing, and they're just lacing shots into this Terrorgeist, taking quite a bit of damage. He thought about charging in, but have decided to back off now. Looks like that first unit of Fellbats has been deleted there. A big breath attack coming in on the Star Chamber Guardians, doing a significant amount of damage. In return, the Umbral Tide are doing a serious amount of damage to this Terrorgeist now. It's now down to half health. Looks like some Skeleton Warriors are summoned on top of the Umbral Tide, plus Fellbats, and the first Hand of the Gods goes in there and does a massive amount of damage to that Terrorgeist. Trying to get it off there, trying to degenerate it, but it is starting to be healed up a little bit. But great shot from Kroq-Gar there, down on the ground. Skeleton Warriors are doing a decent job against the Umbral Tide, but the Temple Guard have just stepped in and are cleaning them up fairly quickly. You'll see they're still firing shots right into this floor from the Gash, which has much pop in. The big shield of the old ones goes over, protecting my entire left flank of my army. These two units are just kind of doing a standoff right now to make sure nothing comes in from the right hand side. I mean, there's not too much threat there. They also were protecting Lord Kroq. So we're going to be moving over now, starting to blob up a little bit and try and, you know, make the best of these units. Looks like Terrorgeist has dropped in on top of the Star Chamber Guardian, trying to get through to the Umbral Tide. Hard to be skittering it and running away. The Kroq-Guard's on duty here, trying to defend them as much as possible, but it looks like such a high amount of Air Force units. The Blood Dragon Vampire is going to be asked on the Umbral Tide. The Swords Warriors are running in, trying to help out, but the Helm of Discord has been popped down on them. Legion of Shackwards just coming into the blob now to help pin in these Terrorgeists. They're both fairly wounded. It's a great opportunity. If I can take one or possibly both of these guys out, it'll be a huge amount of damage. See a big deliverance. It has gone down there. A few have been dropped actually that I think I've missed already. But it looks like one of the Terrorgeists is being forced off, and I don't think the second one's going to be able to escape here. He's been hit in the back by Kroq-Gar, who's popped all his buffs, and down he goes, dragged down by the Star Chamber Guardians and Kroq-Gar. So it looks like all, unfortunately, our little beloved salamanders have been dragged through the dirt, but at least they work as a good, you know, distraction. You know, he chucked everything at them, and at the cost of a Terrorgeist and a lot of other forces as well, including Fellbats and so forth. You see this Terrorgeist comes down, gets a couple of buffs top of him, tries sniping out Kroq. But he's just going to be falling back to his anti-large units, you know, the Legion of Shackwa and the Star Chamber Guardians, dragging this Terrorgeist through, who really doesn't want to be in this fight now and is immediately realising this and trying to back off. Obviously, the main front line's going pretty damn good. Swords Warriors are just going to be cleaving through these, you know, chaff units, and Kroq-Gar is running around doing damage wherever he can. And as soon as a big target pops in to threaten Kroq, he is running back and doing some serious damage. I believe I hear another deliverance. It's going down. Oh no, that might have just been one of his normal little attacks here. He does float up in the air there and just drops him for a nice double damage. Terrorgeist does try and pop in again, but once again, Kroq-Gar's just going to charge into him. A serious amount of damage, but it does look like a bit of a 2-on-1 here for Blood Dragon Vampire Lord as well. But there is Legion of Shackwa and Star Chamber Guardians, obviously going to be giving Guardian to both these units here and doing that serious anti-large damage. Big deliverance at Itza coming down here on the right hand side, and it just deletes those two units. They are both pretty much gone. I mean, if they don't break, they're just a bit useless now with the amount left. It looks like Kroq-Gar is doing a decent amount of damage. He does have the Helm of Discord pop down on him, but together with everyone around him, they are tearing down this Terrorgeist, and I think it's very unlikely that this guy is going to be able to get out of it alive. So even the Helm of Discord down on Legion of Shackwa, the Temple Guard, they still do enough anti-large damage. It looks like very slowly here, they are starting to pull him down. They're going to be having the healing now popped onto him by the Claw and the Gash. We do pop a shield of the old ones to try and counteract a little bit of this. And the main fight is going on here with a little bit of pocket over to the left. I'm 2v1 in these zombies, so of course the Temple Guard are going to be running back across, trying to get to where this main fight actually is taking place. Nagash does quickly run away and get out of there. It's quickly being followed by the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, as it looks like the main fight is won, and the other Terrorgeist did go down. Now, at this point I do notice the next monster is a little bit isolated on his own as well, so once we stop trying to chase this right here, we are going to be trying to bring Kroq-Gar back. We don't want to get him too isolated. Once again, we just drag him through the Temple Guard, luring these big units that are perfect for obviously the anti-large of these units to deal with. We do have the next monster surrounded though, so we're going to start just hacking and beating him down. And Kroq-Gar does go running over into the distance just to try and help the beleaguered units. Swords Warriors cut through these units a little bit quicker. However, my opponent does spot this, and once again, he's really trying to snipe out Kroq-Gar. He does indeed pop the Sacred Spawn in of Chiotl there. and that gives him an extra physical resistance and vigour, and he's just going to run away from the Blood Dragon, all heroic as he does, legendary warriors do, and flee into all this big anti-large block. He's now going to turn around and once again start beating back on this next one. So every time the claw comes back in, we tend to be switching on to that just to try and do the damage as much as possible. We don't want to allow this thing to stay in combat unharmed. So we're just popping on the next monster, almost breaking him there, and every time he comes back in, we're just going to be turning around and doing some damage back. There we go, we can see it popping in the back there, plus the Dragon Vampire Lord is popping as well, trying a bit of assassination. It looks like he gets stuck a bit on Lord Kroq-Gar, might be actually trying to take him down. Pops a big Helm of Discord as well. It looks like in return we're holding pretty firm, and over in the distance we are dropping another Deliverance at Itza just on these 2 units of zombies to try and free up the Saurus Warriors. And that was, I believe, just the medium shot, and it just eradicates those units. They're both pretty much done. Now we're in the front. My opponent's doing a great job though, protecting the Kroq-Gar, you know, not keeping it in combat too long against his anti-large troops, and he's just really trying to snipe out Kroq-Gar. I'm thinking that he hopes to break my leadership in this situation, as the power balance is quite heavily in my favour, but if he manages to break my leadership, he might be able to do enough cycle charging with the Dragon Vampire Lord and the Kroq-Gar. But now, it looks like Kroq-Gar has popped all his buffs, Deadly Onslaught and Swiftness of Itza, so he can catch this guy super quick, and is just wailing on him right here with Grimlock. Down that goes with that. Power balance goes hugely in my favour, and there's not much my opponent can really do left. Just got a couple of units of the zombies left, Spearmen, and one unit he did forget in the background, which is actually Regiment Renowned Zombies. So they won't be much help in this battle at all, to be honest. With that, my opponent does surrender, so very well played. Let's go to the end stats. So well played to Hubert J. Farnsworth, loving the name Futurama references. So I thought I'd try something a little bit different. This is fairly similar to my anti-vampire counts build I used to use in the past with the Temple Guard, but I mixed it up a little bit. Thought I'd bring Kroq-Gar, very cool character overall, especially in the lore. I completely forgot I actually had these Feral Cold ones, so I have no idea what happened to them in this battle. Looks like they did survive. They were hanging out in the trees at the start. They were kind of a last-minute panic pick, which I don't think I actually need. They don't have too much utility here. They're kind of better at chasing down units, but of course vampire counts don't run away. But overall, very good. Obviously, Temple Guard, super tanky, did what they had to do, and made the cheaper Saurus also. They're good enough to tear through Spearmen and zombies, but they will struggle, obviously, if my opponent had bought some Graveguard. Kroq-Gar overall, really good job hunting down people, doing the damage where he had to, stood up pretty damn good to this Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, helped snipe out the Necromancer and the Claw of Nagash. And it's just a really nice tool being able to, you know, chuck him around. He's fairly mobile, and he's really good at protecting. Lord Kroq, of course, getting a ridiculous number of kills, just wiping out all that chaff. Now, the Umbral Tide did get sniped out pretty early, but they did a decent amount of damage, and they work so good as your opponent knows they need to take them out. So they end up chucking so many resources into them, and with the Temple Guard, who can kind of deal with things like Terrorgeists and so forth, they do a huge amount of damage in return. So if you want to take out the Umbral Tide, you're going to take a lot of losses, but the army is quite small and it is hard to protect them, so we'll see how I develop the army as it goes on. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. This will be my last video for a few days as I'm working over the weekend. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like, comment, subscribe if you fancy it, all that kind of good stuff. If you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon down in the description below. Peace guys, see you next time.